basically the most even stat line that you can have on Sentinel. Tipping out of that defense for the dexterity. 5, 5, 6, 6. Here we go. Small Brawlhalla as well. Oh man, stocks are going to fly against Terra Sentinel.
Okay, we're gonna see Anonymous hanging with HardyMJ right now. Hardy finding a pretty big opening, gets a 3-piece there. It's good damage. Weapon throw to find a way in. And since Hardy's already done this once before, right, he already has an idea of like, all right, how do I need to play this in order to win? And that's definitely not the way to do it.
Oh, ow.
Yeah.
that was okay. That was 23 seconds. Yeah, axe recovery on the top of Small Brawlhalla, not fun for the person getting hit. I'm sure Anonymous is having a lot of fun right now, but he is HardyMJ is down on stock real quick. Oh, and he tried to go deep for the sider, and Anonymous with the dive kick gets swatted by the side of the sider, but he did touch. He makes it back, avoids the second one, and now with the axe, is it neutral sync time? I feel like it is. Wall slip's coming up, but he stops him with that weapon throw. Sider comes through, ground pound hit away, but still living.
Whoa, cheeky recovery option. Honestly, I like it a lot because you're like, okay, I know that Hardy is waiting for me to use my dodge as the final option to touch this wall. What if I delayed my wall touch a little bit by using this SIG? And I thought it might have been the end SIG maybe. Try to get a reversal and chase dodge.
I think he just barely misspaced it too. I think that was almost the most big brain maneuver I've ever seen a Terros player do, because if he did it right, I think what would have happened was the side stick would have refreshed the jumps, but he would have continued walking underneath Brawlhalla. I feel like that was like a Brawlhalla, and he was just a little too high to not go underneath the stage, so the guitar sider hit him. But I think that's what he was aiming for, which is the coolest idea I think I've ever seen from a Terros player. And now I'm suddenly a huge Anonymous fan. But HardyMJ, he's bringing this back real quick. He was down a whole stock and a half, and now he's got a damage lead.
Yeah, there we go. That's going to be a punish there. Tries to go for the down sig. Ooh, perfect neutral air to send straight down. You don't get that every day. But not going to lead to much. Hardy now just saying, hey, it's stomp air time. You better watch out. Oh, there's a side sig. It's quick, right? That's hard to punish. Oh.
Okay. Oh, but the charge on the down sig to get the extra force. Anonymous takes another early stock off of HardyMJ, takes the lead again. Already looking to do better than his first run against his opponent in the winner's side of the bracket if he's able to take this game number one. And HardyMJ on the side of recovering. Anonymous just looking for extra damage. Didn't punish the neutral sig, but a neutral sidelight and air will come through, and that's just the bread and butter of any axe player. But that will finish the job, and HardyMJ tries to keep a weapon spawning for as long as possible.
All right, we're going to see what Anonymous has here. Hardy going to try to starve them for as long as possible. All right, there's a neutral air.
What is it going to be? Anonymous gets a sidelight in air, waits around, gets the dodge out, neutral light hits, dash jumps up, fast falls, waits for HardyMJ's wall slip to activate as he gets back to the stage, avoids the approaching neutral air. And the weapon toss goes through, and he just starts putting out down six. I think down six would knock out, right? It definitely would knock out now.
Yeah, def. 100%. In fact, Hardy, in the danger zone there. We're just talking about that down six, and there it is.
It's like a third of the stage. You gotta run for your life.
You know another one's coming.
Oh, but if Anonymous keeps fishing for this, that's absolutely something HardyMJ can play around. But nope, that's the recovery. I guess the entire time he was getting hit by axe and air, and it's more than just an aesthetic move, right? Like, that's tacking on a good amount of damage, even though the knockback's not that strong. And game one goes to Anonymous, already trumping the record that was set earlier on in the tournament. Recovery, down sig, and then finally being able to get that knockout unarmed recovery. Anonymous takes game number one against HardyMJ, and it looks like we're running it back to Small Brawlhalla.
Oh, and there we go. 11 SIGs thrown out from Anonymous there. 9% signature accuracy. So I believe that's just one, right? Yeah, that's one SIG hit there. And then I think there was 6 from Hardy and a 17% accuracy rate there. So probably about the same. Not quite landing the SIGs. It was probably that Qatar neutral SIG that we saw. Other than that, not really finding much. But either way, I mean, Hardy struggling a little bit there toward the end of that game. One, Anonymous looking good. I know Hardy ended up tweeting out that he's been having like a migraine or something today. It just kind of started towards the end of the tournament. So we'll see how he's able to wrangle it in, take some Tylenol maybe, see what's going on.
Make sure that as the matchup plays out, I guess we're just going to see nice side air from Anonymous after the gravity cancel down so to really tack on some more damage to HardyMJ. And that weapon throw coming forward, just leaving him unarmed. And that neutral sig it's the perfect way to be able to deal with a scenario where somebody's jumping at you, trying to pick up a weapon underneath your character. But the neutral sig does not get the knockout. And Anonymous continues with the damage lead pretty significantly here.
And some brazy plays coming out from Anonymous. There we go. Hardy's able to pick up a hammer and get a punish for a stomp stare, which gives him superior stage positioning. And wow, what a landing. Does the falling nair to catch the gravity cancel. Hardy once again with stage control. Perfect weapon throw from Anonymous, though. Go ahead and fight for some stage.
Ooh. What is... Oh, okay, that's it. Nice. Weapon toss. That one connects, picks it back up, gets the stomp on the landing. Side air afterwards, gets the knockout. HardyMJ. I was wondering about the decision to leave Small Brawlhalla open after how it felt like a lot of those knockouts would not have even been a thing that were considerable on other stages,
nice.
Right? But it looks like HardyMJ wants to go like, okay, I understand what happened there. I'll be able to play around it, and now is doing a much better job securing the lead. And he's avoiding almost every single signature that Anonymous puts out and tacking on 4 to 5 hits afterwards.
There we go. Hardy right back on the stage, and oh, not again.
Oh!
Gets scooped over and sent packing, and that's Taros day one. You know, that's day one Taros, but it's still good.
You know what? It still happens. It happens in top 8 of the Summer Championship. We saw it here. That gravity cancel neutral stick. I think it caught HardyMJ reading his bluff too. He tried to go off stage with a dash sidelight on guitars, and it just you could hear like the click of the move starting, and it didn't matter. Anonymous was already queuing up that neutral signature, so he just lost that read. But man, it doesn't really matter. That down sig after the down air avoids the ground pound as well. HardyMJ really doing a great job playing around Anonymous's play style in game number 2, and he's on the verge of 2-stocking him.
Other N-Sig, they have just been hitting today. They definitely have a read on Hardy's defensive movement. You saw that Sig got stuffed out by the unarmed dare, and Hardy in a pretty precarious scenario, probably a stomp Sayer, couldn't get the pickup, wanted the down air actually to KO off the top, but the down Sig will do it. I gotta say, in comparison to game 1, Anonymous's accuracy with the Sigs definitely going to be a lot higher this time around.
Oh yeah, that's true, and it's been a lot of the hammer down sig as well. He's been catching HardyMJ on the tail end, either on one side or the other, getting him in that sweep and then sending him off the top of the stage. And now we're in a scary position where, I mean, if an air doesn't hit from HardyMJ here, I'm pretty sure Anonymous is 2 axe hits away from knocking out HardyMJ and taking a 2-0 lead. So he's got to be careful as that neutral light just barely whiffs. Scoop comes through, Cider doesn't connect, HardyMJ can't get the nair, but if Anonymous is able to get a little bit more damage, a slightly charged down sig could seal the deal. That was, okay, there was a distance to that weapon throw, my goodness. Okay. Oh no, oh! He's crazy, he's crazy.
Hardy, what are you going to do here? Anonymous biding some time on the side, manages to dodge at the perfect moment. Hardy a stomp Sayer away.
Oh, that's it. You're right. Stomp Cider will do it. Those were some, okay, I'm used to players doing dash forward weapon throw and then hoping that it hits, right? So they get the pick up off the bounce, and then do a stomp or a side air or whatever, right? But man, Anonymous was chucking his weapon at HardyMJ so far across the stage sometimes, and I was like, what are you gonna do even if that does connect?
Yeah, so true. Oh, there we go. There's the stats. That's not as crazy as I thought. I thought Anonymous had much more of a signature accurate. I mean, 38% is still better than like the 9 than before. But
yeah, double digits. Yeah, right. Increased immensely.
Felt higher.
We're going into game number 3, and much to my surprise, Anonymous takes out Small Brawlhalla himself, and we're going to be moving over to a map with the platform. Apocalypse is going to be coming out for game number 3 as the set has been evened up. HardyMJ definitely took control of the last game, and I would like to say that I felt like Anonymous only really had a chance there due to the size of the map. So let's see if Anonymous can prove me wrong here in game number 3. As HardyMJ is struggling to find a weapon and finally picks up those guitars.
Okay, wow, just stutter steps his way in, doesn't throw out an attack, trying to bait something out from Anonymous, right? You're using that axe, if you whiff something, I have a lot of time to punch, and there it is. Whiffs that attack, manages to get an end light and a little bit extra.
Ooh, weapon toss forward, try to go for that pickup. Side air and a nair doesn't quite hit. Anonymous goes back. He's trying to punish he's putting out these preemptive punishes for HardyMJ, maybe dash jumping forward, going for a neutral air or a side air. That side light hits him pretty well. Hardy really making the most out of that wall touch right there. That was maximum slide efficiency.
Yeah, if you want to talk about weapon throws, I mean, HardyMJ, I remember when I first saw him in the top 8, those were the things that made me go, oh my god, this guy is doing something that other people aren't. And I think he just recognized the same way that kind of Snowy was earlier, that like, if you throw your weapon, if it hits, cool, you might be able to get a follow-up true. If not true, you can like bait out a spot dodge. Oh man,
Anonymous with the crazy spot dodge on the neutral sig from HardyMJ, and then the side sig to finish off that stock. Really great job from him. And he gets a little bit extra credit with that downlight. He's just trying to hit HardyMJ now on the landings. The size of the map, surprisingly not making any difference. I feel like the pace of this game is very similar, and the knockouts are happening around the time that it would be happening if we were on small Brawlhalla.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like the pace has more or less been roughly the same. You can tell the little bit of added space is making the hits not happen as often, right? They have a little bit more to play with, a little bit more to space around, because Brawlhalla definitely can feel kind of cooped up a little bit. But even with that said, I mean, Hardy's falling behind by a pretty hefty amount at this point. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot of hits. Anonymous is slowing the game down to a crawl. It's something you usually expect Hardy to be the one doing. But hey, when you're in a lead like that, you don't have to approach.
I feel like Anonymous is the way that because this is really the first time I've casted his games. I feel like when he is going for a punish, beautiful down sig, he is. I mean, this is 3 stocks to 1. Not really highlighting how crazy that is, but I think the reason for that is I'm getting this idea that Anonymous is a very analytical player when it comes to his punishes. Like when I saw him go for the downlight unarmed to be able to get those 3 hits on a HardyMJ, it was like a decision that he made where it's like, okay, in this scenario, this is what I'm looking for to be able to hit my opponent with. And he positions very well to go for these punishes and for these hits on the HardyMJ in the matchup. And it's just very fascinating to watch.
Oh, I actually love the fact that Hardy was able to input the turnaround on that neutral air. That gave him time to get the weapon and come back and pressure. But, I mean, you got a lot of work to do here, kid. You got a whole 3 stocks.
He's on the verge of getting 3 stocked. Oh, that's like 4 nairs in a row.
Oh, man, that's a lot of damage. The end light's not even enough to KO. You can see Anonymous burns the recovery to go high, still has a dodge, and makes it back on. Goes for the ground pound. They want the 3 stock.
Oh, that might be it. Oh, he doesn't toss the weapon far enough, and HardyMJ makes it to the other side of the stage, but there's no dodge. He's got to run, and that weapon toss goes a little bit too high. Picks up the axe. Does he downer him? No. So much patience from Anonymous there. Side air catches HardyMJ on the way down. But the dare doesn't start, and the recovering nair from HardyMJ saves him from being in a scenario where he was about to get 3 stocked in game 3. But
at this point, Anonymous looking for some big hits. I'm pretty sure Stomp and Sig is like still 1 dodge frame if Anonymous wants to go for that. And here, how does Hardy get back on stage? You know, it's like side Sig's a threat. Stomp's a threat, Sayer's a threat.
Gravity cancel down Sig. He's been hitting a few of those, getting those off the top. Oh, no scoop, no stomp.
Oh, it's so scary because you need to be close to get damage, right? But that means you have to enter the Stomp danger zone. And that weapon throw might just seal the deal. Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful
Good
play
stuff
from
to Anonymous.
Yeah, and that was nearly double damage going on to Apocalypse. And this is the adaptation that I was excited to see. Keeping in mind, everybody, like, it happened even before top 32, so we didn't even get to see it. HardyMJ 2-0'd Anonymous going into this bracket. That was the qualifier match for HardyMJ to get into the winner's side of top 32, and now here they are with the rematch in the lower bracket, and the best of 5 is all the difference. Anonymous is now brought to game point 2-1. HardyMJ is banning out the stages. It's Brawlhaven, Mammoth Fortress, and Apocalypse. I have no idea why we wouldn't go back to Apocalypse, but you know what? Okay, that's interesting.
Brawlhaven.
We didn't get to quite see it because we're looking at the stats. HardyMJ switched over to Yasuri, left open Brawlhaven, Mammoth Fortress, and Apocalypse. I thought they were going back to APOC, but Anonymous, despite banning Brawlhaven out last game, chose to go to Brawlhaven for this Legend matchup.
I'm just like, is HardyMJ going to be another name added to the list? You already got Stingray, you already got Zakoi, you already got Pierre, you already got Zinker. And is HardyMJ just going to be another name in the list, right? I remember when Java first had his breakout performance, what that list looked like. And the winner of this will have to play Cody Travis. So we'll see how far Anonymous can get. HardyMJ, trying to see if the Yasuri can do it, not feeling the Sentinel anymore. And honestly, not a bad pick. The sword, definitely a good swap out for the hammer.
Oh, man. I mean, let's see how. I mean, so far so good for both players here. Even game, toss the weapon away. Anonymous picks up the axe. Sword's going to be queued up next for HardyMJ, and Anonymous just covering that spawn with the down 6 and the weapon throws. And HardyMJ gets through, picks it up, dash up nairs, goes for recovery. Anonymous trying to get those falling nairs onto Hardy as they recover, and sidelight nair comes through. And that down air from HardyMJ, fearless, but the down 6 takes him down. Great finish. He's in the lead, 2 stocks away from being top 5. That's insanity to me.
And that's the thing too as well, right? Like Anonymous, you know, despite the fact that like all these SIGs aren't necessarily hitting the mark, all the ones that like are gonna kill tend to, you know, like, all right, cool, you missed this down SIG, Taros down SIG, one of his most, if not his most damaging SIG. Like, whatever, cool, you know, you throw it out, you get it, good damage, you don't get it, whatever. But
well, he's not getting hit, and that's why it's whatever.
The thing. Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, it's whatever, you know.
He can put out as many of those down six as he wants, as long as HardyMJ is not bringing in the hurt. And that side air was just a bit of damage away. Gravity cancel neutral to finish it off, catching him in the middle of that unarmed recovery, even to the stocks 2-2.
Okay, what do you have here? Hardy. Looks like he probably wants some Katars right now. He'll play out the sword a little bit, it seems, but knows the Katars are kind of the damage builder there, and he goes for the weapon throw into like a neutral air. Because if he had gotten that neutral air, the animation takes a while. It buys some time for another weapon to spawn, and he has advantage on movement after that. But unfortunately for him, wasn't able to get that neutral air. Trying to dance around. Anonymous has to burn the weapon throw. He goes for the gravity cancel side stick, knowing that Hardy's out of options. Okay, I stopped breathing for a second.
Yeah, he got lucky that he got hit by that nair into the stage and waited long enough to touch, because if you just get knocked against the stage, your jumps aren't coming back. But he was able to get all of his jumps back, touch the wall, get back to safety, but that was very scary. But I am just being constantly impressed by how calculated Anonymous's edge guards are when it comes to babysitting people on the back of the stage. Even if none of the siders are hitting, he's forcing them to continue to take these movement options that allows HardyMJ, or disallows HardyMJ from punishing Anonymous as he makes back. And we've been seeing almost entire stage control from Anonymous Taros the rest of this game. HardyMJ, however, if he picks up a weapon here, could bring it back into his lead. It's just, Anonymous is just, he's relentless.
He doesn't really jump either, right? Just kind of stays grounded and waits. There we go, jump down.
That's your reward.
Pretty much immediate.
That's your reward for picking up the weapon. Nice job. Like, you pick it up, down air comes through, you lose the stock, now you have to try again. And that side light comes through right as the weapon spawns and tacks on even more damage.
Yeah, I always talk about how Hardy's one of those players that, like, you never want to play with the lead, right? But he's been behind pretty much the entirety of this game, and you can see from the way that Anonymous is playing is like, yeah, you have to come to me, you have to come to me, you have to come to me. And Hardy manages to find a hit there. It's a bummer for him that it doesn't KO, but a D-Light recovery away if he can find it. Maybe a raw recovery, yeah, goes for it. Couldn't quite catch the landing there. That's going to be more damage for Anonymous, and this is Taros. Every hit hurts that much more.
Yep, 3 silent nairs and a down sig, and you're out. Like, that's what it feels like. So he's got 2 more in the bag before
Nice.
HardyMJ's got to really start worrying about those roars. And that recovery doesn't do it. Weapon toss doesn't combo into the recovery on the Katars either, and HardyMJ struggling to finish off the stock. Despite all these weapon throws hitting, he's not getting the one hit necessary to seal the deal. He bounces off the stage. Man, Anonymous just surviving so deep into the second stock. That will do it.
Yeah, had to react quickly with the dash, neutral light on the dodge there. He was like, finally, I was able to get it, but that took so much effort. And the weapon spawn right in front of Anonymous there. You know, Hardy was like, ugh, and now I got so much more to deal with because it just spawned right on top of him. So he has a little bit more work to do. Granted, he's doing well. He's been entering the hammer danger zone pretty well. He might bring this back. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of nairs and recovery, and if he gets Anonymous a little bit deeper in the orange, D-Light recovery could potentially do it, but oh, that's a lot of damage. Silent and side air. If he slide charge, pivot, if he slide charges, or just charges a down sig at all,
sig, yeah.
That's it, that's it. Oh, I feel it. I know he's going to do it. Either weapon. Come on. This is going to be so stressful. That's it. It hits, but it doesn't get the other swing, so it's not enough damage. But now he switches over to the other weapon. No, he's just keeping him denied. That's it.
Wow. Anonymous taking out HardyMJ, another killer in the bracket, and moving on further to fight Cody Travis. And I just like, I don't know what to say. This is history in the making, you know?
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
It's a little different from Java's, but it's definitely just as impressive, right? Because Java came in